I wasn't the only one uncomfortable of being in the presence of this giant robot. There were quite a lot of other robots dancing in Power Rangers style costumes, as well as members of the Albert Einstein fan club. And they all seemed hesitant to share the dance floor with the 8-foot tall, half man, half robot, half fucking nightmare robot swinging arms thing. Or perhaps they were afraid of the crazy man sitting on our left who was on a high dosage of fizzy soft drinks and women. And he must have been the one person in that room that evening to have succeeded in touching all the women. In massive contrast to the overly excited guy on our left, to our right we had Tokyo's most thoroughly unenthusiastic man. I couldn't for the life of me establish whether he was genuinely unimpressed or just overwhelmingly frustrated. Things then died down. Except they didn't. Because right then a fleet of women on giant animatronic robots made their way into the room and started to surround us before poking the giant robot thing in the face, which it didn't seem to like very much because it started doing this. A friend of mine even got to sit on one and pull a stupid pose on it before driving it backwards and forwards across the room with a cheeky smile. And it was about then that things started to die down. Except they didn't. Because just then, a motorbike burst into the room. The room turned into a giant, scantily clad merry-go-round with women hanging from the ceiling. Then what happened? Oh yeah, there was a woman riding around on an ostrich. A woman being fondled, assaulted, cuddled by a giant rabbit. And then some sort of buggy with half a dozen women just drove into the room. And my friend got a bit overwhelmed by it all. And then things got really mental. Because right then, in a scene reminiscent from the world's greatest weapons demonstration, a giant plane flew into the room, and a neon tank, drenched in women, drove through the room, crashing into the plane twice, and yeah, I nearly spilt my sanity all over the floor.
What the fucking hell is going on?
It's during this part of the performance that you'll start to wonder why real tanks aren't made of neon and covered in bikini-clad women. No self-respected enemy soldier would open fire on it. They'd be too busy filming it, let's face it. And it was then that the tank and the plane turned around and disappeared off stage. And with a wave and the cries of goodbye, the performance ended, and we emerged from the place wondering what the hell had just happened. Even though whatever I saw, it was bloody brilliant. They say the best things in life are free. They're not. They cost 4,000 yen and they come with a bento box dinner. Not that you'll be thinking about the food, and after all, you'll probably only ever do it once. Although let it be said, there are definitely some that make a weekly pilgrimage. The show may not have had all the robots I'd hoped for, but one thing's for sure, you'll certainly have a hard time finding a cabaret performance as interesting, dramatic, ridiculous as the one at Robot Restaurant.